Right.
I'm getting embarrassed to do it.
No, you can't get embarrassed, man. It's not like you're showing this to other people, is it? It's just for your own records. So basically, we got Mum taking care of the essentials. She's going to look after our cups of tea and stuff like that.
That's what's going to make us work, isn't it? And sandwiches, yeah.
Yeah. So now Chris has just spent 15 minutes in the kitchen, in the kitchen dining area, trying to basically understand what the previous setup was. The reason I got him to do this is basically the opportunity you're going to have. If a customer's interested in getting a rewire done on their house, they're going to call you up, Christmas electrical connections, and they're going to say, "Hi Chris, any chance you can come round and do me a quote for a rewire, please?" Yeah? So you're going to go round to their house, you're going to pull up at their door, ding dong, "Hi Mrs. Jones, I'm here to do your quotation for your job." As I explained to Chris, if you then spent 3 hours looking at their kitchen, trying to work out how things were done previously, you're going to look incompetent. They're going to be like, "God, this guy doesn't know what he's doing." So that's why I said you've got about 15 minutes. Yeah, like was happening in there. The customer was trying to talk to you, trying to distract you. It's a very difficult time, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to appear professional. You're also trying to be social with them, so that you're not going to say, "Look, fuck off, I'm busy," Yeah. It's a very difficult line to walk, but you're also scanning everything that you can see in there in order to try and work out how long this job is going to take you, how much money it's going to cost you, and how difficult it's going to be in terms of like hard work. Are you going to be lifting a load of stuff? Are you going to be pushing a load of stuff? Let's say that room in there had furniture in it and stuff. That's going to add a hell of a lot of time to the job, moving furniture around, making sure, especially a kitchen, cups and saucers, they might even be expensive cups and saucers. If you go dropping them, customer's gonna say, "Oh, you need to pay for that. You've dropped my fucking antique vase or whatever." Yeah. So you'd add extra money to the job for potential danger. Yeah. Here, Chris, I'm gonna give you that paper that you did. Yeah. Just sort of talk to me. Tell me your first impressions of the job. Read out what you've written on there.
Right, when I first went into the house, obviously it seemed, I ain't got to look at that. What I can do this.
No, just pretend it's not here.
To be honest with you, it did seem a bit frightening at first when I saw everything hanging down and the walls were like bare. It looked like you was going into like a, I don't know, 60 or 70-year-old house that had just been built, that had just been sort of knocked down. Like the old stuff's just hanging down,
Yeah.
And then obviously I saw like the cables, all the old sockets, and the new cables, the old cables, everything that you've got in there that needs power that you're using at the moment.
Okay.
The lights were still there, the switches were still on the wall.
And at the moment they're still working, aren't they? Yeah.
But obviously I noticed there was a few cables there that was hanging down that were
cut. Did you notice the cut ones? There were a few cables that were cut in there.
Yeah, that was already like, showing some copper.
Yeah. Okay.
And
so you didn't have your test gear on you, but if you did, you'd have tested them to see if they were live. Yeah, I can spoil the surprise for you. They're dead. Yeah, the ones that are disconnected are dead. This house has been through 2 rewires since it was built. It was built in 1900. Yeah, so it's over 100 years old, 110 years old. When it was first built, they installed some basic electrics in it. In those days, they just used to have really simple electrics. Yeah. Okay. What they also used to have, because in those days they used to have servants, yeah?
Right.
Like you've probably watched dramas, upstairs, downstairs. You used to have the person who used to live in the house, and then you used to have servants who used to serve him meals and, clean up and stuff like that. I'm just going to show you something over here.
A bit like what your mum's going to do with us, yeah?
Yeah. So over here, just by the fireplace, yeah, to the left of it, down here, if I can turn that on. Lovely. There's a switch. Yeah? I'll let you have a look at that in a second. Can you get in there and...
Alright, yeah.
Can you perhaps Turn the light off. I just turned on.
See that? How's it working? So this was obviously one of the old switches that was in the house.
Yeah, so that's like 100-year-old switch. Yeah.
God, yeah.
And what is it? When you're pushing it, what's happened? It's basically a bell push, isn't it? You push it and it comes straight back out. It's not like a normal switch that it turns on.
Like a spring loaded.
Yeah. Can you? Any chance you can turn the light off?
Yeah. Oh, where's the thing down here?
No, actually, just on the neck of the actual.
Oh, right, okay.
Good stuff. Thanks, man. Yeah, so that's quite fun for me. What that used to be is a little call system. Yeah.
Right,
So
like
let's
a bell.
say, yeah, like a bell. So when the master of the house was sitting here, you know, smoking his pipe and reading his newspaper, he'd want a cup of tea. So he'd press that button, ding dong, and that would
servant
ring
come down.
in the servants' quarters, which is the kitchen.
Yeah, yeah.
And they'd come and say, yes sir, what can I do? And he'd say, yeah, I want a cup of tea, please. Yeah? So it's funny because we'll find those around the house, but the reason I'm telling you about that is you'll also see the cables for that in the kitchen. Yeah?
Right, okay.
And
'Cause
that-
obviously there was a couple in different rooms.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the cable is just amazing. It's like made of like fabric. These days we make cable out of plastic,
That's
but in those,
PVC, innit?
yeah, in those days they didn't have plastic, so they used like a like fabric,
Yeah,
like
okay.
like what your jumper's made of.
Right.
Yeah,
So the cable would be inside still, but the fabric would be...
yeah. It would
yeah.
still use metal for actually transporting the electrical signal, but what the metal was wrapped in to
Was
stop
the
an
cap-
insulator.
The copper,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What we'll do is we'll cut off a bit for you and you can take it to college and show your other mates there. I mean, really, it's
Yeah.
quite exciting for me. But what they did is they used to run it in conduit, metal conduit, yeah? I mean, we still run stuff in conduit, but you'll see that,
So the fabric,
yeah,
well, basically it's like now we have like the, you know,
PVC.
the PVC
Yeah.
sleeving that
Yeah.
goes around the copper,
yeah,
because it's protection more
Exactly,
than anything at
yeah.
the end of the day. Because
Yeah.
obviously that's potentially live in that sleeving, isn't it?
yeah, yeah,
Once you do the colours.
mm-mm.
But that fabric is that obviously that's part of like a protective clothing sort of thing, is it?
Yeah, I mean, I
Is that
think
why?
if you ask a teacher these days, The
John
purpose-
might even know, 'cause
yeah,
he's-
John, look,
he's
if you
into it,
asked him,
isn't he?
if you asked him about insulation on cables these days, I think they actually tell you that it's to protect the circuit, yeah? Whereas you and I know that really what we care about is we don't want to electrocute people, so we protect the people from the electrics in the cable.
Yeah.
But what the teacher will tell you is that the PVC is to give it mechanical protection from damage, yeah, and also from the other cables, because if you put a live and a neutral together, they'd go bang. So that's why you want to put something in between them that separates them from each other. Actually, now that I'm saying that, I think they explain, because a normal cable is called PVC, because there's two layers of protection, isn't there?
Yeah,
There's the
that's
metal,
what- and the
then
colour.
there's the colour, and then there's a thing that wraps it around the colour. So like at the moment it's grey, wrapping up most twin and earth. Yeah. So I think from memory, the first one is to protect the cables, and the second one is to protect the humans. Yeah, but anyway, look, the point is insulation. Yeah, that's what it does. Yeah. So we'll go and have a look at that in a few minutes. Carry on with your list. So, have you actually written down any figures? Let's see what
No.
you've written.
I've just wrote down what there is, what I can see in there, and what we're going to be playing with.
Okay, so let's start with the top one: cable thickness. What have you noticed about cable
Well,
thickness?
I've noticed in there, obviously, there's all different types of thickness cable.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah.
For
Okay.
lighting,
Yeah.
sockets, and probably even other stuff.
Yeah, like that bell push. Yeah. You probably
I
saw
didn't
them
know
cables, but you
I
didn't realise they were there.
It was for the bell push,
Yeah.
but obviously that goes up into like the upstairs, you know, into
Yeah.
the loft.
Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, so you realise the different sizes of cable. Did you notice that some of them were different colours as well? Yeah, you did.
yeah.
And what is the purpose of having different thicknesses of cable?
So you can, so you can identify what